Where should I start? Um, let's talk about the movie John Dies at the End. Uh, I just watched this about like 2 weeks ago, and I'd say it's a really well-made movie. I mean, it's it's a surreal horror, like comedy type movie, and it's based off a book by David Wong, and I just bought the book just like today, so I'm pretty stoked to read this. Yeah, it's made by David Wong, who was that has actually a pen name for J.C. Pargan, and it started out as a like chapters just published on on the internet around like 2001, and then it was released in as a hardcover in like 2009. Then there was just recently been adapted into a movie by let's see, Don Coscarelli, who he had adapted Boba Hotep. If you haven't seen that, go watch that too. And also it's been produced by Paul Giamatti, so that's like a great person right there. Uh, as for story, the story is pretty complex now that I think about it. I mean, just to get the full, essence of the story, yeah, I have to, read the book. But as for the movie, yeah, it captures wow, like a lot of the complexity that I can already see that. But as for the story, it's about the characters Dave and John, and they have like a lot of paranormal like encounters, as as you could see within like the first 15 minutes, that they're into really paranormal stuff. But so like at a party, Dave and John, basically Dave encounters some Jamaican guy who's showing off like these like abilities where he could predict the future or read minds and stuff like that. And apparently he's on this drug called soy sauce, and apparently he's really used to it too because he knows how to really hone the abilities. And after the party, uh, Dave gets a call from John, who's really freaking out because he's under the influence of the soy sauce, and let me know that the soy sauce looks exactly like soy sauce that you'll find in like Chinese restaurant or when you order takeout. And okay, and see, then Dave gets under influence of soy sauce. Then suddenly a lot of strange things start happening, such as like they started seeing a let's say soy sauce distorts reality completely. It can it'll also put you in like in a different dimension. Well, it draws others into different dimensions, and then still distorts reality, heightens your senses, and makes you kind of like almost say omniscient. In a way, it kind of makes you you're like kind of like a demigod, I must say, in terms of abilities. I mean, just not strength. But Dave and John find out that people who were at the party have turned out dead, apparently, and they find this out through a police officer who's pretty shady. And apparently, all these people were under the influence of soy sauce. And like later, Dave and John find out that there's an impending invasion, like getting ready to occur, and that those who are under the influence of soy sauce go to a different dimension and may not come back human. So it's up to Dave and John to basically save the world or day stuff like that, and they go through a lot of like surreal and paranormal like activity, I must say, throughout this whole movie, and it's actually pretty funny as well as dark. and that's pretty much the story. But like some nice things to throw in is really the humor. The humor is semi dry, but you just know where it's coming from. Uh, People will while watching it, I know people will probably be like a little grossed out or will really laugh at the doorknob scene that takes place in like the first 15 minutes. That one is great, and people will probably like want to know more about the history between the two characters because they're in the paranormal stuff, so there's a lot more to it. Maybe stuff in the book that gives you more backstory between them, between like John and Dave. Uh, the opening, the opening like first 2 minutes really hits you hard and will really entice you with this movie because they just hit you with a really strong scenario. Well, Dave hits you with a very like strong scenario in like the first 2 minutes that will just capture you right there. And let's see. Uh, there's also Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti is a character in this because basically Dave is narrating the story to the the guy Paul Giamatti plays. And let me note that Dave and John, those are not the real names for the characters. They call themselves like Dave is Dave is naming them. You know, he's basically naming all the characters, I guess, different names to keep it kind of secure, I must say. And then we note that like Dave is actually named David Wong, just like the pen name for the author. And let's see. Uh, oh, some parts of the movie you would just be like, "What? You like? Why is this happening?" Because I think, what's the name of the character? I think uh, I think it's Amy. Amy's character. I think people would just find like her situation pretty odd, especially the I don't know. It's yeah, like I think the dog too. The dog is great. The dog is a great character, I must say. Possibly the best character in this whole story is the dog. Uh, I don't know. This is a great movie. I give it out of 10. I'll give it a I want to say eight and a half. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5 because I believe there's a lot more they could have done with it. If they had a higher budget, this would probably be like a perfect, well, actually, a pretty good 9. If only they had a higher budget. Yeah, because I know they didn't have like a lot of funding for this. But in other words, I would check it out. It was on demand, I guess, for about a week or 2 weeks, but it's gonna be like in theaters in January the 25th. So look forward to that. Probably in like select theaters. I'm not sure, maybe specialty places. Uh, that's it for now. There's not much I could say about it because there's a little bit hype for this movie. A lot of people are looking forward to it. So I don't know. Don't miss out on this movie. Really, don't miss out. It's great. It was good. It's good. Not really great, but yeah, if you can, check out the book too. I mean, this should be pretty, entertaining. It's a lot. It's a lot thicker than like I thought it would be. So this will probably take me a while to read. But check it out if you like something surreal, funny, and just a good movie to watch with friends. Definitely check it out. Later, people.